I don't mind being gone on adventures for a while. No, no.
Hey everyone, Emily here. Welcome back to my channel. I've already tried to film this video once, but I forgot to turn my phone on silent, and literally it kept buzzing with text messages, but that was my problem, my fault. So I'm gonna try it again. And here is my review of Hocus Pocus 2. And this is a collaboration with my friend Brittany, Miss Love and Life here on YouTube. And I will be linking her channel in the pinned comment down below, as well as her video. So there'll be two separate links. So go check that out. So Hocus Pocus 2 premiered on September 30th, 2022. And the Disney Plus description says the following: a haunting sequel to the 1993 Halloween classic featuring the delightfully wicked Sanderson sisters. And I love how the first few minutes were basically showing the ladies when they were younger, because that was really nice to see, because I did not expect it to go that way at all. I was expecting it to kind of pick up from where it left off in the first movie, and then just go from there. Like the basic sequel, it'll start from the beginning, from the ending, and just go right in, kind of like a book series as well. So I was kind of expecting it to follow just like the regular style of sequels. So whenever they started out a whole situation with the younger Sanderson sisters and like Winnie's birthday and like all of this stuff, it was really nice to see. And actually, I watched the movie twice yesterday. I watched it once with my good friend Lisa, and then I watched it a second time later in the evening with my mom. And every time I watch a movie, I catch something new. And my mom actually saw that the witch in the beginning of the movie, when they're in the Forbidden Wood, she recognized her as the lady from Ted Lasso who owns the team. And I didn't know that because I watched like one or two episodes of that, and I didn't know that, so that was an interesting catch. And I loved that we got to see everything that happened with Billy and his whole situation, because even though he was like a decently big character in the first one, I always thought that there was more to him. And plus it was also nice that you can see like how much of an effect these women like held over the lives of Salem people, not just the people of Salem, but also like Billy and stuff like that. So that was nice to see. I also loved how they had like the Alexa in the movie as well, and like it was very modern, and they had FaceTime and all that stuff. My favorite scene in the whole movie absolutely was the scene in the Walgreens where they walked through the door and they're afraid of the automatic door, and then they're like, oh, where's the potions aisle? And, you know, everybody says that, saying lotions and potions, or at least I do. And I think that was the most iconic scene of the movie for me. Like, if you watched mine and Brittany's other video about Hocus Pocus a couple weeks ago, I was like, I'm waiting for them to do an iconic scene like they've done in the first movie, with the bus and the man in the double outfit and his wife in the hair curlers. And for me, in this movie, the Walgreens was iconic because not only were they trying to remain young, which I think is which I also think could be a play on, which I also could think could be a play on like our beauty industry and how everybody's obsessed to be young, but also the fact that they also had somebody come in dressed as them and ask for a selfie, and then they were obsessed with the filter and making them look young. And then I absolutely loved when they went to go get their brooms and Mary got on the Roombas. I about died laughing. It was so funny. I was like, oh my god, that is hilarious. Like, that scene, like, sealed it for me. I was totally in for the count then. And I loved that, that there was lessons about friendship and how you don't judge people's differences, because Mike, the guy who's who's the boyfriend of Cassie, was like, oh my god, you guys do witchy stuff and blah blah blah, and then he ends up finding out like they're really cool and blah blah blah. So that's that. And then I loved the music. They played the song One Way or Another, and I'm not gonna sing it because I don't want to get copyrighted, but anytime I hear that song, I think of Mean Girls, so I love that song. And I just think them up on the stage is so funny and so iconic, and they were so good. And I loved the magic store and like all of the crystals, because I have a lot of friends who are into crystals and, you know, all that stuff. And so I thought that was funny. And I just loved the magic store because I loved that touch. And then I also loved how they tied in Gilbert to being there in the first one, and then how he like came full circle to have a magic store and do crystals and like charge energy and all of that stuff, and that was very modern to do that. And then it was funny because the teachers, I know I'm bouncing around, but I'm just like reading the notes as I wrote them down, which is when they came to me. I found it funny that the teachers were all in costume, but the students were not. So that was interesting. And then the carnival was really funny. And the mayor, honestly, I loved the mayor. If I had to pick a character who wasn't like one of the Sanderson sisters, and then who wasn't Gilbert, so like any of the main ones other than, you know, who wasn't any of the main ones other than like part of the storyline, which I know he was too, but like I loved him. I loved his personality. His laugh was hilarious because if you know me in real life, like if you know me, then you know that wheezy laugh that he does, that's my laugh, you know? So that was funny. And I loved the caramel apple thing because he was like, "Oh, who's on GMA?" And she goes, "You mean Good Morning America?" And he goes, "Yeah, I guess," or whatever. And how and I loved how that they had the cat in there, but the cat just was a regular cat. And I know that Brittany's gonna be very upset because she loved Binks, but he was just a regular cat. And Becca is a witch, but she's a witch for good. And I'm scrolling down, hold on. Oh yes, and then I saw Mary on the robot vacuum. I got that one already. Oh, and then I love how they like had ties to saying like the different sort of spells and like amok, and you know, oh my god, it's sunrise, like we can't lose again. You know, that was really nice. And the book was iconic in the movie, and how the book chose Becca. And Billy finally got to tell his story. And there were so many quotable things in the movie, such as like village idiots, and then said by Winifred, and then the mayor was like, "I have the Gothic Golden Girls in my garage right now," or something like that. And then he was like, "They all have resting bitch faces." And I cannot wait for that Gothic Golden Girls t-shirt to be on Etsy. Somebody please make that. And I loved at the end how even though Winifred like wanted all the power and like she wanted everything, like she was willing to give it up for the love of her sisters once she learned that the sisters are more important than any sort of power. And I think that that's a good lesson to learn, and I'm glad that Becca was there to help her learn that, as well as Izzy and Cassie. And then even though Gilbert he wanted the witches back because he loves the magic store and stuff, he learned his lesson too, and I was like blown away when he made Becca that candle, because I was like it didn't automatically click with me that it was like the black candle and then lighting it on Halloween and then full moon and blah blah blah. Like I was just like, oh, it's a candle, because they talked about like, oh, birthday rituals, and then they were like, oh, you know, manifesting and like making making wishes for the new year. I'm struggling in this video. I'm sorry, guys. They were like making wishes for the new year, and then boom, all of a sudden it like turned into that whole storyline. But I also don't think sometimes like Gilbert knew his power, or like the power of actions and like the power of words. I think that that's also a good lesson for people to know as well too. And I'm glad that the friendship trio got back at the end. That's always nice. And it was nice that even though Becca learned she was a witch, she stayed nice. And I loved the special clip at the end of the credits. And then also, I loved going back to the one where they were on stage. I loved how many people dressed up as them. And I believe some of them were like drag queens, and I believe that was like a tie to like RuPaul's Drag Race kind of thing. And then I also think that that was a tie to like today, and how many people just love Hocus Pocus, and like how crazy elaborate the costumes are sometimes. And just because if you look it up today, or maybe not today or whatever, but if you look up a Hocus Pocus costume of one of those sisters, it goes for like hundreds of dollars. So yeah, I loved that. That was also the other iconic scene. So if I had to pick, I would say the Walgreens, the pageant on stage, for lack of a better word, and then the part where he says, "Oh, I've got the gothic Golden Girls in my garage right now." That was my 3 favorite scenes of the movie, hands down. I really want somebody to put "That's Gothic Golden Girls" on a t-shirt. Somebody who has an Etsy shop, please figure out how to do that. I can't wait. I'm sure it's probably already up. I'm filming this on October 1st at 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm sure it's already up there. But anyways, so that is everything that I had to say about the movie. And I loved it. I know there's mixed reviews about it, but honestly, when you wait so long to do a movie like that, I think nothing is going to be as it once was, you know. But I really did love the new one, and my mom thought it was really good as well. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to go and check out Brittany's video. Again, I will have it linked in the pinned comment of this video. So I will see you guys in the comment section of this video. Let me know what you guys liked about this movie, and if you were somebody who didn't like it and or chose not to watch it for whatever reason, please let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to know just why as well, because I love learning about other people's opinions and, you know, theories and stuff, and, you know, just what everybody else has to say. I think that's the beauty of the world. We can all disagree. As long as we're nice about it, we can all disagree and it still be fine. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.